Welcome to channel Question Bank. In this video I am going to discuss 20 questions from electrical engineering from any subject, that is random questions. So first question, 1011 is in signed 2's complement form. Which of the following is equal to this? So first thing, the 1011 is in 2's sign complement form, signs 2's complement form, signed. That means in case of positive numbers, all the signed complement, all the signed forms are same, representation is same, but in case of negative, this is not the same. So first thing, here 1011, this is the sign bit and 1 represents this number is negative, so rest is the value. So sign is first thing is negative and it is in 2's complement form, and the number is 011. We have to convert it to decimal because here the options are in decimal and in hexadecimal. If we convert to decimal, we can direct say that in what will be its hexadecimal form. So first thing is, this is the number which is in 2's complement form and we want to convert it to the decimal form. What we have to do? First we have to do its complement. The same process if we do twice, then it will be in case of 2's complement form. How 2's complement form is, suppose this one is number 111 and its 2's complement will be, first is 1's complement, that is 000, and then plus 1, that is the 2's complement, that is 001. This is the 2's complement of 111. And if we repeat the same process for a number which is already in the 2's complement form, then it will be converted to the primary one. That is, here this is in the 011 which is already in the 2's complement form, and I will again do the same process. So this is 100, this is the 1's complement, 1's complement, 1's complement, and plus 1, this is the 2's complement, 2's complement. What will be this? 101, 101 is, this is 5 and this is negative of 5. So here option C is the correct answer, and B in hexadecimal is equal to 10 in decimal, and 5 is not equal to that 1011 because this is in signed complement, signed 2's complement form, and this is negative 1. Next question, what is the value of current? I will discuss the first question again. The 2's complement number is also can be converted to the decimal by its 8421 weightage. How this works? Suppose the number given is 1011, so this is sign complement and this is 1. This 1 has weightage 1, this 1 has weightage 2, this 0 has weightage 0 into 2 to the power 2, and this one has weightage minus 1 into 2 to the power 3. That means minus 8 plus 0 plus 2 plus 1. So what will be this? This will be minus 5. So it also obeys the 8421 weightage rule, 2's complement form. So next question, what is the value of current I in the circuit? Here is the current I, here is the circuit, and circuit is containing a Zener diode. So what is the current I? So here we have to consider the Zener diode is in forward bias condition or reverse bias condition, so that we will determine its application. So to determine that one, we have to first remove that Zinro diode. Here suppose this is Vc, that is cathode voltage, cathode potential, and this is anode potential. We have to find out Vc minus Va, that is cathode minus anode voltage. What will be this one? So here anode voltage is 0 and cathode voltage is the voltage across this 2 kilo ohm, that is at this point. So what will be the voltage across this 2 kilo ohm? 10 into 2 by 2 plus 1, that is 3. 2 plus 1. So this will be 6.66 volt. So what was here? Here it was initially this was here 6 volt. Initially this was 6 volt given. So this 6.66 is greater than 6 volt. This 6 volt gives the reverse bias condition, reverse bias breakdown condition. So here it is in reverse bias condition and the voltage is greater than the reverse bias voltage for that Zinro diode. So this will be in breakdown region. The diode will work in breakdown region, and that is why V output means the voltage across the 2 kilo ohm is always will be 6 volt, because Zinro diode is used for the voltage constant voltage circuit, voltage regulator, 6 volt. So here current I will be here, this is 6 volt. So current I will be 10 volt minus 6 volt by 1 kilo ohm, and this will be 4 milliampere. Option D is the correct answer. Next question. Characteristic equation of a closed loop system is given by s to the power 4 plus 2sq plus 3 square plus 4s plus 5 is equal to 0. System is stable. Option B, system is unstable. System has two right side poles. Both B and C are correct. So here the characteristic equation is given. We have to apply the Routh stability. So here S4 SQ S square S1 S0. We will form the Routh table. 1, here is 3, here is 3 and here is 5, here is 2, here is 4 and here is 0. Then here the calculation will be 2 into 3, that is 6 minus 4 by 2, this will be 1. So here this will be 1, and next is 5, this will come to right this place, and next this line will be 4 minus 10 by 1, this will be minus 6, this place it will be minus 6, and this will be 5, it will be replaced by 5. So here in the first column here the sign changes occurs twice, that is from plus 1 to minus 6, first sign change, and then again plus 5, second sign change. So first thing is the system is unstable because sign change occurs in the first column of Routh table. System is unstable, correct, and it has two right side poles because two sign change occur in the first column of Routh table. So option B and C both are correct answer. So option D is the correct answer, both B and C. Next question, which of the following is used for external over voltage operation of SCR? Option A, varistor. Option B, selenium thyrector diode. Option C, avalanche diode suppressor. Option D, all of the above. And here the all of the above is the correct answer, because all are used for the external over voltage protection, and the work of all these devices are same. Next question, what is the minimum sampling rate to construct a signal having highest frequency 20 megahertz? Here the given maximum frequency of the signal is 20 megahertz, and Nyquist rate we will apply. What is Nyquist rate? Nyquist rate. What is Nyquist rate? Minimum value of sampling rate to reconstruct a signal having highest frequency omega m. Suppose highest frequency is omega m, then the minimum value of sampling rate to reconstruct the signal again will be 2 omega m. We need to sampling rate of frequency 2 into the maximum signal frequency, that is here sampling frequency should be always greater than 2 omega m. So here the question is given 20 megahertz, so minimum sampling frequency will be 40 megahertz. So here option C is the correct answer. Next question, common mode rejection ratio in decibel form is given by dash, where AD is the differential voltage gain, AC is the common mode voltage gain. So this is first thing, in any term in decibel form is 20 log base 10 and the term. Here the term is what is CMRR, that is common mode rejection ratio. This is the term, and in decibel form always 20 log is used. So these options are not correct. So among the A and B, option A is the correct answer, because this is CMRR has correct expression, that is AD by AC, that is differential voltage gain by common mode voltage gain. This is the common mode rejection ratio. This is not correct. Next question, what is the value of a time constant of a unit negative feedback system having forward path gain GS is equal to 16 by S into S plus 4? So here we have to find out the time constant. First thing, what is the transfer function? Given that unity feedback and negative feedback, unity negative feedback, so what will be the transfer function? GS by 1 plus GS HS. So this will be 16 by S into S plus 4 plus 16, and this will be 16 by S square plus 4S plus 16. This is the transfer function, and the denominator is the characteristic equation, that is S square plus 4S plus 16 is equal to 0. This is the characteristic equation, and here the form is A square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square is equal to 0. So here omega n is equal to root over of 16, that is which is equal to 4, and 2 zeta omega n is equal to 4 here from the equation, and 2 into zeta into 4 is equal to 4, and zeta is equal to 1 by 2, which is equal to 0.5. and time constant is given by the reciprocal negative reciprocal of real part of root of characteristic equation. What is that? That is the, what is the negative? 1 by minus of 1 by minus zeta omega n. Zeta omega n is the minus zeta omega n is the real part of the characteristic equation, root of the characteristic equation, and the time constant tau is equal to 1 by zeta omega n, and this is equal to 1 by zeta we have find out, that is 1 by 2, that is 0.5 here, and omega n is 4, and this is 1 by 2, which is also equal to 0.5. So here 0.5 second is the correct answer, option C. Next question, modern AC to DC converter employ GTO instead of SCR in order to have option A low reactive volt ampere flow, option B reliable commutation, option C low switching loss, option D smaller heatsink. The answer is reliable commutation, because in case of gate turn off thyristor, that is GTO, we can turn off or commute that device using negative gate pulse, which is not possible in case of SCR. So here for only the reliable commutation we use GTO instead of SCRs in modern AC to DC converters. Now question number 9, how many 2x1 MUX are needed to design an 8x1 MUX, that is multiplexer? In case of 8x1 MUX or multiplexer, there is 8 inputs 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and another here 8, suppose 8 inputs, 1 output and 3 selection line, because 2 to the power 3 cross 1, 3 selection lines. So here we need 8 inputs. So and here given is 2x1 MUX. So here we will have here 1 2 3 and 4. These are 2x1 MUX. That means it has 2 inputs, 1 output. Each have 2 inputs, and here we are getting 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7, 8 inputs. We have designed 8 inputs, and here we have 4 outputs from 4 2x1 multiplexer. So we need 1 output. So what we have to do? We have to use another here 2x1 multiplexers, 2x1 multiplexers, so that here we have reduced the output to from 4 to 2. Now we have to use another 2x1 multiplexer, so that we will get the final 1 output. And what are the selection lines from this? This is 1, this is S2, suppose these selection lines are connected, and here is the selection line of second one, and here is the third one, that is S0, S1, S2, 3 selection lines and 8 inputs, 1 output. So this is the construction of 8x1 multiplexer using 2x1 multiplexer. So how many multiplexers are used here? Here I have used 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. So I have used 7 multiplexers. So what is the method for this? In mathematically we can find out, suppose given 2 cross 2 to the power n cross 1 given, and we have to find out 2 to the power m cross 1 multiplexer, number of multiplexer. This is suppose 2 cross 1, this is suppose 8 cross 1 multiplexer. So how we will do? First 8 by 2 which is equal to 4, then 4 by 2 which is equal to 2, and then 2 by 2 which is equal to 1. So we have to add these 3, 4 plus 2 plus 1, this is 7. So if the question is given to find out the number of multiplexers 2 cross 1 multiplexers only, then we can use the formula, that is 2 to the power n, this is the source one, here the source one, minus 1, that is in this case this is 8 minus 1. If this is given for 16 cross 1 multiplexer to be designed with the 2 cross 1 multiplexer, then this will be number will be 15, 16 minus 1. So here the answer is option C. Next question, here is the given, here is the state transition matrix given, and this is asking for system is stable, system is observable, not observable, not controllable, both controllable and observable. So here A, matrix A is given as 0 1 minus 2 minus 3, B is given as 0 1, C is given as 1 1, A B C all are given. So we have to find out first composite matrix, that is for controllable, MC, which is equal to B AB A square B and A to the power n minus 1 B. This is the general format, and for 2 cross 2 matrix this will be B AB, and here this will be B, what is given, B 1 0, here this is B is given 1, sorry 0 1 0 1, and what is AB, A is given 0 1 minus 2 minus 3, and B is given 0 1. If we multiply A and B, this will be 1 minus 3, and MC, determinant of composite matrix for controllability test, is equal to 0 minus 1, which is not equal to 0. As this is not equal to 0, this is controllable. I am not using any shortcut here, because shortcut depends upon the student how he can use the shortcut, and shortcut is not a proper method. So we have to use proper method to find out these things. The next is the composite matrix for observability test. So this matrix is C transpose A transpose C transpose, A transpose square C transpose, and so on up to A transpose to the power n minus 1 C transpose. This is the matrix, composite matrix, and for 2 cross 2 matrix this is C transpose A transpose C transpose, and this will be, what is C transpose, this is 1 1 1 1, and what is C transpose A transpose, A transpose is 0 minus 2 1 minus 3, this is A transpose, and what is C transpose, 1 1. So if we multiply these two, this will be minus 2 and this will be 1 minus 3. and this will be also minus 2, and this is equal to minus 2, and if we find out the determinant of that matrix, observable matrix, composite observable matrix, this will be minus 2 plus 2, which is equal to 0. That means this is not observable, not observable. So the given system is not observable but controllable. So which option will be correct? This is option B, not observable. Next question, which of the following statement is correct when negative feedback is introduced in an amplifier? Gain reduces, option B bandwidth decreases, option C stability reduces, option D distortion increases. This is gain reduces, because when feedback is added, when feedback is introduced to the amplifier, the gain is reduced by the factor 1 plus beta A, and here A is the amplifier gain before introducing that feedback. So as the denominator is 1 plus something, that means this whole value will be reduced. That means as 1 plus beta A is greater than 1, A feedback will be always smaller than A. So gain is reduces, but these terms are false. That is bandwidth also increases, distortion decreases, and stability also increases. So option A here is the correct answer. Next question, which of the following statement is or are correct regarding corona? I am not talking here about COVID-19. This is corona loss in case of electrical engineering power transmission lines. And of first statement is given, no real power loss occurs due to corona. It causes interference with neighborhood communication line. Next statement, third statement is, it somewhat protects transmission line from lightning surge, and here first one is not correct, because no real power loss occurs due to corona. This is not the correct statement, because some real power consumption occurs due to the corona because of the ionization of the nearby air at the surface of the conductor, transmission line conductor. Next statement, it causes interference with neighbor communication line. This is correct, and it somewhat protects transmission line from lightning surge. This is also correct, because when lightning surge occurs, the higher voltage, the peak magnitude of lightning surge voltage will be dissipated in the form of corona loss. So statement 2 and 3 are correct. So option D here is the correct answer. Next question, for a step down chopper, T on is equal to 8 into T off. If the input voltage is 100 volt, then what is the value of average and RMS output voltage? And here T on and T off relation is given. So duty cycle is given by alpha, which is equal to T on by T on plus T off, and this will be equal to T on is given that 8 of T off by 8 of T off plus T off, and this will be equal to 8 by 9, and average output voltage will be alpha into V source. V source is given 100 volt. So what will be its value? 8 by 9 into 100, and this will be equal to 88.89 voltage. So average voltage is 89.89 voltage. And what is the RMS voltage? RMS output voltage will be Vrms is equal to root over of alpha into Vs, which is equal to root over of 8 by 9 into Vs, that is 100, which is equal to 94.28 volt, 94.28 volt, and this is option B is the correct answer here. Next question, what is the value of velocity error constant of a negative unity feedback system having open loop gain 5 into 5s plus 2 by s into 2s plus 5? And here velocity error constant what is defined as for the ramp input. When ramp input, that is 1 rs is equal to 1 by s square, that is ramp input. For ramp input, velocity error constant is defined. So I will define first what is velocity error constant and then I will solve the problem. Error steady state error is given as limit t tends to infinity error in time form. If we apply the final value theorem, then what will be it? In case of Laplace, this will be limit s tends to 0 s into error in Laplace form. So this will be limit s tends to 0 s into es. What is es value? Rs, that is input by 1 plus gs hs. gs hs is open loop gain, and this will be limit s tends to 0 s into, and rs is given that this is ramp input, that is 1 by s square by 1 plus ghs. I am writing it as ghs, and this will be limit s tends to 0, 1s here is cancelled out and the rest s is multiplied here, s plus s into gs hs. So here if we take the limit to the denominator, it will be 1 by limit s tends to 0 s plus limit s tends to 0 s into gs hs, and this will be 1 by 0 plus this one I am telling it kv, that is velocity error constant. So what is the velocity error constant? Limit s tends to 0 s into the open loop gain, that is gs hs. This is the velocity error constant. So what will be the velocity error constant here? Limit s tends to 0 s into what is given 5 into 5s plus 2 by s into 2s plus 5. So here s is cancelled out and limit s tends to 0, 5s, 5 into, here if I take common of 2, then what will be 2 into 5 by 2 into s plus 1 by here I will take common of 5, what will happen 2 by 5 s plus 1. So here 5 cancelled out and limit s tends to 0, and if we put s 0 here, then what will happen? 2 into 1 by 1, then it will be 2, only 2, or this step may not be done for this one. So answer here is 2. So velocity error constant is 2 here. Option A is the correct answer. Next question, Laplace transform of ft is capital Fs, then that of f of t minus t0, that is time shifting. Then if time shifts, then in case of s, that is Laplace domain, this will be this one, e to the power minus s t0 f of s, that is here negative sign is present. That one we have to notice. Option B is the correct answer. Next question, what is the energy of the signal? What is the formula for energy? Energy of the signal is defined as minus infinity to infinity mod of that signal square dt. This is the formula, and here function ft is given below 0 value of the t, it will be 0. From 0 to 5 the value is t, and 0 for t is greater than 5. So the plot is like this one, like this, 0 and here t and here 0 again. This is 5, this is ft, and this is t. So we will solve this one. From minus infinity to 0, this is 0 dt, plus from 0 to 5, this is t square dt, plus 5 to infinity, this is 0 dt, and this will be, this one is 0, this one is 0, so cancelled out. This one is also 0, cancelled out, and the middle one is only present, and this is tq by 3 from 0 to 5, which is equal to 1 by 3 5q minus 0, which is equal to 125 by 3, which is equal to 41.67. So here answer is 41.67, that means 42. 42 is the correct answer. Next question, question number 17. In a logarithmic amplifier, which component is used along with op-amp? Here logarithmic amplifier using op-amp. So how this is designed? This is designed like this. This is the op-amp, this is the inverting terminal, and this is the resistance one, and here is a diode. Because the diode current characteristic is exponential, we can convert it to logarithmic. So here this is, and V0, V output is given as minus eta Vt, that is thermal voltage of that diode, and this is log base E Vi input voltage by I0 into R. This is the logarithmic function here. So this is logarithmic, and if we try for the anti-log, what will happen? This is the op-amp, this is the inverting non-inverting terminals, this will be the resistance R here, and here there will be a diode, here there will be diode. This is for anti-log, this one is for log, and this one is for anti-log. So what element is used? This is the diode. Option C is the correct answer. Next question, which of the following logic gate can be used once to convert T flip-flop to D flip-flop? So here aim is to convert D flip-flop, and what is given? T flip-flop is in our hand. So we will first define what is D flip-flop. D flip-flop. What is D flip-flop? For D is equal to 0, answer will be always 0 if clock is provided, and for D value is equal to 1, if clock is provided, then answer will be, or Q terminal will be always 1, and it does not depend upon the previous value, that is it is independent of QT, that is the previous value of the output. But in case of T flip-flop, both D and T flip-flop are single input flip-flops. So here T clock and Q T plus 1. So what will be? For T is equal to 0, if clock is provided, then output will be the previous one, that is QT, and if the T is equal to 1, if clock is provided, then output will be the opposite, that is the composite of that is negative of this one. So this is the toggle. So this is the toggle. So we have to convert T flip-flop to D flip-flop. Our aim is to convert to D flip-flop. So I will write here the characteristic table of target is D flip-flop. So characteristic equation, sorry, the characteristic table of D flip-flop, that is D QT QT plus 1. So how this will be? This will be like this: 0 0 1 1 0 1 0 1. So for D value is 0, answer will be 0. D value is equal to 0, answer will be 0. For D value is equal to 1, this will be 1, and for D value equal to 1, this will be 1. It does not depend upon the initial value. So for T input, T we have to write down the excitation table. How this can be used? T, when we have to use the toggle, that means when 0 to 0, this is not toggling. So here answer will, here the input should be 0, and here from 1 to 0, that means if the previous input was 1, then current input is 0, and this is the toggle. And when toggle occurs, when T input is 1, the toggle occurs. Next is also toggle occurs. So this is 1 and this is 1 to 1, that means no toggle. So this is 0. So this is the excitation table. And how this is coming? For this input, what is coming? Output is this one. Which gate this is? This is non coincidence gate, that is 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 0 1 1 1 0. Which gate this is? This is non coincidence gate, that is the XOR gate, X or gate. This is non coincidence gate. So how this can be designed? This can be designed like, suppose this is a T flip flop we have to convert it to the D flip flop. This is the clock and this is the T terminal, and this is the Q and this is Q bar. So here we have to convert it to D flip flop. So here we have to connect a JOR gate. This is a JOR gate, and JOR gate input has two terminals, and one is Q terminal and another is D. So the whole is converted to D flip flop here. Here is the D terminal, and here is the clock, and here is Q and Q bar. So answer here is XOR. And you know that the NOR and NAND here, both NOR and NAND are universal gates, and this can be designed with to form XOR gate. But here the question asked for can be used once, only one, because NOR and NAND, more number of NOR and NAND used to form XOR gate. So these are also answers of this question, but as this is given once, so this will be XOR. Next question, for a single phase half controlled rectifier with RL load 50 Hz supply frequency, if the excitation angle is 210, then what is the circuit turn off time? So what is extinction angle? Suppose this is the input voltage, and output voltage will depend upon the phase controlled na. So this will be like this. Suppose this is the alpha, which is the firing angle. So here, from here the voltage will appear at the load, and here this will be extincted. That means this voltage is due to the inductor. This voltage is due to the inductor. Here given that RL load. So this voltage should not come, and this is coming due to the inductor, and that is why the current will be start from here and end at this point, not ending this point at 180 degree. It is not ending, and this is ending at this point, and this angle is called beta. Beta is this angle, and this is called the extinction angle, and alpha is the firing angle. So if beta is given to be 210, so what will be the circuit turn off time? So circuit turn off time TC is given as 2 pi minus beta by omega. So first thing, 210 degree is pi by 180 into 210 radian, and this will be 7 by 6 pi. This is in radian. So this will be TC will be 2 pi minus 7 by 6 pi by omega, that is 2 pi into frequency, that is 50, which is coming to be 1 by 120 second. So option B is the correct answer, that is 1 by 120 second. Next question, GSHS is given, and what are the corner frequencies? Here this is very easy question, and here we have to convert this to standard form, that is S into, I am taking common 20, 1 plus S by 20, and in denominator I am taking here 5 common, so S by 5 plus 1, and here I am taking 6 common, this will be S by 3 plus 1. So this is finally coming to be s cancelled, and this is finally coming to be 2 by 3 1 plus s by 20 1 plus s by 5 1 plus s by 3, and here the corner frequencies are the denominators of the s. So here one corner frequency is 20, another is 3, another is 5. 3 5 20. First thing, 3 corner frequency will be there. So here corner frequency will be 3 5 and 20. Corner frequencies are determined from the standard form, not this form, because if we see this form, then there will be 1 2 3 4 and 5, and there will be 5 corner frequencies we can determine. And if we this one is s is equal to 0 is not corner frequency, and there will be 4, and this is not the process. Always corner frequency is calculated or determined from the standard form like this, or canonical form, and option B is the correct answer. Thank you for watching up to here.